Hello and welcome to another lesson. And in this lesson, I'm going to paint a still life. And in this still life, I am going to demonstrate everything that we've talked about. So first thing first, I am using a watercolor paper. I always prefer to sketch using my brush, and as you can see, I'm doing that because it is easier for me, and it will be easier for you as compared to using a pencil. It helps me to create nice shapes, and it's easy for me to use my space well. So another point, still lifes are very important if you want to be good at acrylic paintings and even painting in general. Still lifes are very good to start with. If you're a beginner, you can maybe at least focus a little bit on still lifes before you can progress into other subjects, because with still life it's easy for you to learn things like value, things like lights and shadows, things like shapes and all that. So once I am done with that, I start applying color on my still life, and I start with the fruits. You'll notice that I always prefer to start from dark to light, and this is just my own technique of painting. But you can start with whichever side you want, but the most important thing is to note where the light and the shadow is being cast. Where is the light coming from? Where is the shadow being cast? And what kind of colors am I going to use for different values? So it's always good to study your subject first. If you are getting it from a photo or from a reference somewhere, make sure that you've taken your time to study the your subject first. So for example, in this painting, I'm also adding a bit of yellowish and orange to my red fruits, and this is because I want to create some luminosity. Also, if you're going to do still lives, I will advise you to paint from live. You can go to the market and buy some fruits that you want, or just anything, paint brushes, or just anything that you have in your house. You can collect all of them, arrange them well on your table, and start painting them. Your subjects can vary based on size, based on color, based on shapes, and all that. For example, you can have a if you're just doing fruits, for example, you can have small fruits like cherries, strawberries, and a very big fruit like a pumpkin or a watermelon. So it's very important that when you are painting still life, you pay attention on the shape, the size, and the color. Also here you can see how I've used yellow on top of green, and this is also to help me create some luminosity. So once I am done with all the fruits and all the things that are important in the painting, I can now proceed to other things like the table and other things. I don't want to stress much on other surfaces in this painting, because they are not that important. The main important thing that I wanted people to see in this painting was the fruits and the jar and everything else. But other aspects, I'll just paint them roughly. And also you can see that I'm using a wash to paint the background of the painting. So many people, when they saw this painting, they thought that I used watercolors. But one interesting thing about acrylic is that you can paint it like you can paint it like watercolors. You can create a wash using acrylics and just paint it like that, the way you can do with watercolors. It's very interesting, and it's something that you should try, especially if you are painting on canvas. It pops out very well. The texture of the canvas and the wash that is is created after the painting has dry, the effect that is created is very, very interesting, and it's something that can look very good if you know how, if you use it well. So if, as you continue learning about acrylics, make sure that you've also learned how to create nice beautiful washes using acrylics, because with those wash you can also create glazes and all that. So that's it for today. I hope you've learned something, I hope you've understood something, and I'll see you in the next lesson. So thank you.